Hey there guys, so some quick introductions. Alright, let's try that again. My name is Anthony Doe, also known as Dodo, and if you haven't already, make sure you poke that subscribe button and turn on those notification bells so you guys can get updates on when I am posting here on YouTube. This is of course going to be my first ever YouTube video. I am going to be posting gaming content, mechanical keyboard content, as well as West Point content, so stick around if you guys want to see all that sort of content in my future projects. It's going to be a lot of fun as I hope to grow on this platform. And also, if you haven't already, give me a follow on Twitch. I've been doing a lot of streaming over the past summer and I am going to be carrying it into the semester. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop by and ask those questions, or if you guys just want to see some nice fun gaming and hang out for a little while, please give me a follow. I would really appreciate it. But today we're going to be going over how to infill your Savage 65. So many of you guys are coming from the Canon Keys Discord or any sort of other Discord I've posted photos in, or even just Instagram, and may have seen that I was able to infill the back of my Savage 65 with some gold. And a lot of people were asking how I was able to do it. It doesn't require a lot of skill. It requires a few supplies, nothing too crazy, very cheap. You can find it at almost any store. What we will be doing is infilling the cannon of my Savage 65. Once again, this is going to be the second time I have done it. You guys can do it with any sort of acrylic paint. This is definitely usable for any keyboard out there if they have some sort of indent markings similar to the Savage 65. If you really want to add a lot more color and more of your personal style to the keyboard, it definitely is a lot. And also, it will not damage your keyboard in the long run. As you can see, I did an infill before and I've completely removed it and there's been no damage to the anodization. Absolutely nothing has been ruined here. It looks amazing even after I have completely removed the gold paint that was originally in there just to redo it for you guys. We're just going to go ahead and get started. So here, as you can see, this is the complete just normal back of any Savage 65, and this is what anyone's board will look like if they haven't done an infill yet, right? It's just the indent of whatever you want. So we're going to start by grabbing your acrylic paint you want to use. So for me, I am using metallic gold, and that will be the color I want the cannon to be. Just go ahead and drop a glob into there. And also some other supplies you are definitely going to need to look for is non-acetone nail polish remover. So this is very important that it is in fact non-acetone. It must clearly state it's non-acetone, so that way you know for sure that it is safe to use on the anodization. Otherwise, it will completely strip away the anodization. So make sure you look out for that. Another thing, the acrylic can be whatever you want, whatever color, as long as it's just acrylic paint. It doesn't really matter necessarily. You also need some sort of way to spread the paint. In this case, I'm using a plastic putty knife I just got from Walmart. Nothing too crazy. You can use all sorts of tools. I have seen J Keyboards personally use a grout tool that's normally used to spread grout in tiles. That's also a very usable option if you're especially if you're worried about maybe scratching your board, then for sure you can go ahead and use that over this. Nothing too crazy. And the last thing you'll need is a handful of cotton, what they call cotton rounds, and then you'll also need Q-tips. These are a little more important, especially if you have very specific and small parts to the infill. So we're going to start, once again, we threw the acrylic on there already, and we're just going to go ahead and wipe it across a couple times. Simply grab the straight edge of whatever you're using and wipe the paint. And as you can see, it has completely filled in the cannon very easily and very nicely. We're going to go ahead and grab one of these and just wipe off the paint. All right, next we will be grabbing the non-acetone nail polish remover. Once again, important that it is in fact non-acetone. Get that nail polish remover and just throw it on whatever you're using to wipe out the majority of the paints. In this case, I'm using the cotton rounds. Use whatever absorbent material you want that you're okay throwing away because the paint will stick to the material, of course. So avoid using something you want to keep. Just go through and wipe off all the paint. It'll come off very nicely. As you can see, no damage to the anodization. All right, once you've we've gotten pretty close here. I did whiff a little bit on the paint, unfortunately, but that's okay. Easy fix. If you do get a little paint scraped off to the side, you can just grab your scraper once again, lightly pull it back a little bit there. Go back again. Just make sure you go in the opposite direction as well so it can infill nicely. There you go. It's pretty even once again. So just go back, keep cleaning. Take your time with this. You don't have to rush. It's definitely a time process because if you don't take your time, you're going to end up pulling some of the paint off from the center. You are going to see a little bit of residue from the acetone, or I'm sorry, not the acetone, from the nail polish remover itself. This is just the nail polish remover. Just go ahead and grab a bottle of water or whatever you want, just water, and wipe it all off, and it'll clean off very, very nicely, very quickly, for sure. Once you've cleaned out most of the paint, you can let it sit for maybe a couple more minutes here. And while we do that, we're also going to go ahead and grab this Q-tip here. This Q-tip is going to be used to clean up the edges a little more, a little closer to the edge. This will help to fine-tune the infill nicely and very accurately. Take your time, especially with this portion here, as you do not want to damage or want to pull out any of the paint that's already inside of the indent or whatever image or wording that is your keyboard. So just go through, take your time, start going from the outside, then slowly move in. right, and once that is over, this is the final product. Just let the acrylic sit for a tiny bit there. The acrylic will settle down a little bit there, and once it settles down, it should flatten out quite nicely. It'll be a very, very nice looking infill once this is over. Now you can, like I said, you can see some streak marks there from the nail polish remover, but just grab a cotton ball of water and just wipe it down. It'll clean off all of that residue. And just like that, we've completed the infill for your respective keyboards. In my case, the Savage 65. As you can see, the infill is done quite nicely. Just make sure you keep on going, reapply if you have to. The acrylic will always stick to the metal, so trust the paint. It will stick back to the metal once it's done drying, and it dries pretty quickly. As you can see, it's already done on my end, and I would hope to see that a lot of you guys use this more in your personal boards. This is something really cool to see, and I would love to see more people in the custom mech community use it more on their personal boards. Do please check me out on Twitch at Dodo, and also if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Stay safe out there.